My name is Jazmin Araujo Vargas. I'm a special education assistant for LAUSD. I started with LAUSD in 2017 after deciding to take a break from my nursing career. I became a Local 99 member around 2018 officially after meeting with one of our organizers and learning what it meant to be union. He spoke about solidarity, strength in numbers. We discussed some of the issues that were happening at my campus that I had witnessed, and listening to the power that the union had to help bring about changes on our campuses led to me joining the union. Later, staff here encouraged me to become their shop steward. I was nominated and I became the shop steward of my campus. Eventually, I became a member leader at Local 99, and I decided to step up exactly because of those issues that we had discussed. I saw people being worked out of job class, people being mistreated, unfair wages, just a lot of things that needed to change within the district as a whole. Becoming a member leader means getting the knowledge and the education to be able to represent our members on our campuses, but also it allows us to spread that knowledge to other members. We're able to connect better with members when we visit campuses as member leaders because we live the same experiences that they are living on their campuses. Sometimes connecting with someone who's going through the same thing you are encourages you to take action. So for me, becoming a member leader was exactly for that reason, so that I can empower others, teach them what I have learned, and equip them with the knowledge, the strength that they needed to push forward on their own campuses. When we went on strike, for me, it was not a difficult decision because I saw the injustice. I knew that for many decades, education workers like ourselves, classified personnel in particular, was always in the shadows. When we think of schools, the first thing we think of is the teachers or the administration. Nobody really thinks about the people who feed the children, who keep them safe, who supervise students on the yard, bus drivers who get up at the break of dawn to get these buses out to make sure the students arrive on time. So for me, the decision was easy to step up and fight back and fight for what we deserved, a living wage. We were below the poverty line, and the strike brought us to the poverty line. There is still work to do, but the strike was essential to taking that first step towards fighting for livable wages. I involved my family in my decision to strike by using our family resources. I reached out to connections that we had through family on the radio, social media, to get the message out of why we were striking and why it was imperative for the community to support us and for us to be on that sidewalk until we got what we deserved. I talked to my coworkers who were hesitant about the strike, and I educated them on the value that they had at our campus. I encouraged them to stand up for themselves and fight for what they deserved. I was tired of seeing them working 2-3 jobs. It still makes me a little sentimental. I had one coworker who was hesitant because they were losing their housing. If that's not a reason to fight back, I don't know what is. I use those stories to encourage our members. I think many Local 99 members decided to strike for similar reasons. It was time to be seen and to be heard and to be compensated. The day before the strike, worry was weighing heavily on my shoulders. I knew what it meant. In order to prepare, I had Zoom meetings with our sister union, UTLA, on our campus. I met with our members, and we decided to come up with a plan on where we were going to meet, what chants we were going to say, what we were going to wear, what time people were going to arrive. It was like preparing for going to war and a party at the same time because we were going to be with our coworkers and our work family. Being on strike was very difficult. The weather did not help. The water came down and it brought our spirits down even heavier because it was like, why is this guy so gray? Why is the weather against us? Everything is against us, but here we are and we need to be here. I remember showing up day one We didn't have a canopy to stand under. I didn't have rain boots because I couldn't afford them. They were like 60, 70 bucks. And we were out there for living wages, which was more important. So I remember getting out of my car and stepping into almost calf-high water. My shoes were ruined. My waterproof raincoat did not turn out to be very waterproof. Many of us were out there. Some of us wanted to give up and go inside. We didn't see a lot of community members come out. We didn't expect the students to come out in the rain, but we were worried because we were a small number. Day 2 was a little bit better. The weather let up. There was still water to the top. I am in South LA, so our gutters swell up pretty heavy during the rainy season. We walked down Compton Avenue and we met up with our sister school. Many of you have probably heard of her, Drew Middle School. And we walked down, we joined them. We were also joined by 3 other campuses in the area. And it was very uplifting to be among each other. We didn't care about the rain. We brought out speakers and music and we chanted and we built that camaraderie outside. We were chanting so loud, we had one of the gas station workers come out and ask us if we could keep it down. So it was much better. That night was very difficult when we got noticed that movement was not being made and that we didn't quite know which way things were gonna swing at that point. For me personally, I remember I prayed, I cried. I thought about those coworkers I had promised change to. Eventually, we got, day 3 came around, we got the call that the mayor was getting involved. And for me, that was the moment where I could see the end in sight. Our mayor is known for understanding the struggles that Angelinos face, the cost of living. We thought, the thought among us at our crowd was, she's going to be our voice at that table, and she is going to make sure our superintendent understands that this is not Florida and that we need livable wages now. He needed to bend his arm and show us that we are respected on our campuses, that we are valuable, and that we are needed in order to keep these campuses running, this district running. When we went on those rallies those 3 days, it was beautiful. We saw people with drums, people with other musical instruments coming up with their own chants. It helped us get through those rainy days. That last rally at the park was amazing. We were surrounded by our coworkers. We were surrounded by people we didn't know. People were bringing, seating arrangements, blankets. Everybody was singing, getting to know each other. We were feeling very hopeful that the end was near. I built many relationships during those 3 days with people in my surrounding community, people from far away across the district, who I still keep in touch with now. The moment I knew we were going to win is when the news coverage came on, and it was breaking news, and they were live with Max Arias and our mayor, Karen Bass. I immediately threw the TV up to full blast volume, and I started recording with my phone. My children gathered in the living room. I broke out down in tears. It's hard not to break down now, knowing that we did that. When the announcement was made, that heavy weight lifted off of my shoulders, and I knew that what we had done was the right thing to do. When we returned to work, everybody's head was held high. People were high-fiving each other. It was interesting to see the shift in power. And I say that to say sometimes we walk with our head down low because we are not in the spotlight, we are not valued, we don't feel valued. Nobody acts like they see us when it comes to our administrators or people in higher positions. But that week coming back, everybody else's head was a little bit lower and ours was higher. I made sure to talk to all my coworkers and tell them to revel in the success and the victory we had had. I reminded them to never allow themselves to be put down. not to talk down on the teachers, but when they went on strike, we kept those campuses open. And we showed the world that without us, these schools will not open. The lessons I learned from strike are to stand strong with the values that I already have. I come from a union strong family. My father is a union welder. My mother was a seamstress union member. I remember walking the streets with my mom when her union went on strike. So it reminded me to continue pushing forward, fighting for what's right, speaking up for those who don't have a voice, and educating others, because when you educate someone, you empower them for the rest of their life. Something that I would like to say to those of you who are watching this, who are maybe thinking about joining a union, or are new, or you've never heard of what it's like to stand up and strike or be united for a change. Keep fast, keep your eye on the prize, fight for it. Don't give up even when you get doors shut in your face. My mom used to say, remember, when one door closes, another one opens, and if not, you tear that shit down. Union builds power, it builds strength. We are more stronger as a whole than we are as individuals. I remember I saw a shirt that said, united we negotiate, but by ourselves we beg. So nobody should have to beg for equitable wages, safe working conditions, and respect. So keep strong, and remember, when we fight, we win.